everyone, and thank you for coming tonight to this presentation of what I think is very, very important. And the question is, why should you learn a second language or a foreign language? According to linguists, a linguist is a person who specializes in foreign languages. According to Professor John McWhorter, one reason to learn a foreign language is to participate in the culture of the people who speak it, and by the virtue of the fact that that's their code. Three different questions. One, have you ever been outside or been somewhere and people speaking language you didn't understand? Or have you ever been outside the country, in a country that you went to and couldn't speak the language of that particular country? Or have you been at work and there were people there speaking a language you couldn't understand, it's very concerning to you, and you didn't know what they were talking about? Other than English, there are two main languages or countries that border our country, and that's Mexico, which the language there is Spanish, and Canada, and the language there is French. Plus, in our country, there's 350 different languages spoken, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. It is important to learn at least one different language. Your basic communication going to a store or to help someone is needed when you need to learn a second language. You may need to travel to another country, and that country will have a language you don't understand, so it'll be important for you to understand what that language is. Since the U.S. and the world is globalized, it's very important to learn another language so that you can succeed in this new world. This speech will talk more about how that works. Learning another language must be done for basic communication with our nation's millions of immigrants, for safety and clarity, and for travel or shopping or conducting business. According to accomplishing this is easy because there's so many resources that you can use to learn a second language. Again, learning another language is very beneficial to you. It can help you in many ways. Learning another language is very critical because it's able to you're able to communicate with people, and there might be a safety reason why, or again, you may want to shop or do business with someone who speaks a different language from another country. There are many things you can do to educate yourself, and many ways to do it. That means you can attend classes at college or different institutions that specialize in foreign languages. And I know across the country, pretty much you have to have a second language to graduate from high school. One thing I want to say before I go further is, I took 2 years of French when I was in high school, thinking that I was going to be maybe going to Paris one day, so I know how to speak the language. But I ended up joining the military, and lo and behold, I was sent to Panama, which there's only Spanish people there, so I didn't know any Spanish. So it's good to know a different language, especially Spanish, because Spanish is a very growing second language in this country. There are 61.8 million immigrants in this country today, or maybe more than that, but this is as of 2014. So there's probably a lot more immigrants now today. Spanish is the main second language in this country. 37 million people or more speak the language. But there are several other means of language that people speak, other languages like Chinese. There's 2.89 million people speak that language. The Tagalog language, which the Filipinos speak, you have 1.6 million speakers. Vietnamese, you have 1.39 million people that speak the language. French is 1.3 million. Korean is 1.1 million. And German is 1 million. You must learn another language for your own safety, especially when you travel, because you go to another country, you don't understand what the signs are saying. That may be very important to keep you safe. Knowing another language can also make you a lot of money because these days, if you're bilingual, you can be hired faster than someone who only speaks one language. So the trend for bilingual people today is very, very good. It's very, very growing too as well. There are free, like I said before, free tools to learning a second language. And according to the Fluent U website, there are 53 different resources you can use. In addition to the online resources, as I said before, you can get the other learning from high school or college where you can pick the language up. And there's also community college you can go to as well. There are three important things I want to really re-emphasize about foreign language. Number one, it's good to know a second language because there's so many resources you can obtain to learn a language. Online courses, as I said before, colleges and other places. The other important point I want to make is for your safety, when you're out and about or you're in a foreign country, it's vital that you know the language so you can understand signs, street signs, and know exactly where you are. Or in case you may need to save somebody's life in this country, but you don't know how to speak their language. So it's very good to know another language in that regard. One final point I want to make is if you plan on just keeping your English language, then that's not going to get you very far in this world today because the world is globalized and everyone's picking up different languages to all become one citizenship or learn how to participate in other countries. Any questions? Okay, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.